Hello. You're probably wondering why you're looking at an image of a guy with a cap pulled over his eyes that suddenly appeared on what looked like the introduction to a Looney Tunes cartoon. Well, I am that. And what you're about to watch is not necessarily a movie, but rather a video which identifies as a movie, which aims to tell a story that identifies as compelling, gripping, and heartbreaking, made by a single individual who identifies as a filmmaker. And each character is played by a single individual who identifies as an actor, which I'm sure is more harmless than identifying as an amputee or a blind person. It is also made with a combination of screenshots that represent a location that might be referenced throughout the video, as well as with the use of TikTok filters to represent each character being played by this single individual. And now, with all those details out of the way, our story can finally begin. Our story begins at a quaint little house in a suburban area, which is being used as a studio to play host to a popular talk show, The Blue Table Talk. Hello, this is your good friend the psychiatrist, currently sitting in a studio. I'm apparently going to be part of a talk show. Can you believe it? And I even have a few friends here. Even Spencer has bothered to show up. Man, this is really starting to turn into a drag. How long do we have to wait for this fool to get things started? Well, Drew is known for his punctuality. I'm sure he'll be around any moment now. I would hope so, because I'm starting to get so bored with myself I don't even know what to do anymore. Well, there are a few magazines on the table over here. Maybe you would like to grab one and have a good read. Man, that stuff is just gossip anyway. It's boring as hell, like social media itself. You go onto one site, and it's all about a chick with a dick. You go onto another side, it's all about a dude with a vagina. And another side after that is all tits, and another side after that is all ass. So, I ain't got nothing to do. Well, they do have this one interesting article down here about why parents shouldn't allow their children on social media when they're still too young. Well, all you gotta do is say, well, you ain't missing much, for the reasons I just stated. Hey, 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 it's your man with it all, Drew Hall. How are you folks doing? We're alright, just eager to get started. A little bit nervous considering we're going to be on a talk show for the first time. Well, you don't have to wait any longer. We're about to get started. The crew is moving in. The rest of the guests are now joining us. We go live in like 3 minutes. Well, good to know. We'll be taking our places. Good. I'll go prep the others. Hang tight. We're almost there. I am almost certain that he said 3 minutes about 30 minutes ago. I think I heard him once say 30 minutes about an hour ago. Well, either now it's a really quick 3 minutes or we're about to get started right now. Hello, everyone. This is Drew Hall, who has it all, your host of your favorite talk show, The Blue Table Talk. And today we're going to be discussing a very sensitive topic. Transgender women. Would a straight man sleep with them? We are here to find the answer to that very question. First up is a Mr. Avery Brock. Say hello, Avery. Like, hello, Avery. So I guess you'll be the first one to potentially answer this very question. And here it is. Would you hook up with a transgender woman? Is that like a chick that changes into a car? That's so cool. I mean, two in one, right? But I don't think so. I mean, if a woman and a car are like the same thing, it's like 4 times the high maintenance, man. So no, I think I ought to keep them separate. They'll save money on the bills. That is not exactly what they are. They are, in fact, how do I put it? It's only a dude in a dress and nothing aside from that. Well, there you have it, and now suddenly I'm so glad I added that trigger warning. What? I can't believe you said that about transgender women. I am so triggered. Oh, seriously, man. Since when do you fall under the hypersensitive crowd? It's not called being hypersensitive if you're just considerate of the transgender community's feelings. You ain't part of the transgender communities. If a transgender person came in here, was pissed off about what I said, then fine, I'll apologize. But since you ain't, I'm just gonna straight up assume you're saying all of this because you're a dumbass. Oh, I feel so insulted. Well, good. It means the phrase did its job. Oh, so the chick not only turns into a car, it also turns into a dude. Is that like the exhaust pipe when it turns into a car? Like when it turns into a dude, it goes from behind to up front? Well, for the sake of not really trying to offend, it's not a transformer, it's not a chick, it's literally a guy just in a dress. So do they like do that to play a prank on the straight guys? It's like pull their pants down, you go like ah, and they gonna stand next to you and say, "Smile, you're like on pervy candid camera or something." No, they apparently made the life choice to basically dress as a woman because they feel they identify as a woman. Alright, so if I like say I identify as an astronaut, would NASA send me like up into space? Actually, no. If you go to NASA with the intention of going out into space, you would first have to go through an entire training course. Oh, so they won't just send me up into space because I call myself an astronaut or identify as an astronaut, whatever. Like, okay, I like sort of knew I had to go like through a training course and all that, man. But now you just call yourself a woman, you still have a thing between your legs, and now people are supposed to accept you as a chick? Like, come on, man, what you smoking? Well, I believe I'm just going to write up your answer as a simple no. Now over to you, Mr. Spencer Talbot. Would you hook up with a transgender woman? Hell nah, because it's just a dude in a dress, nothing more. Oh, there you go making that same statement. I am triggered all over again. Dog, I think they made it pretty obvious that if you dress up as an astronaut and call yourself an astronaut does not mean NASA's gonna ship your ass off into outer space. You feeling me? So just because a dude dresses like a chick, makes his hair out like a chick, puts a kind of hairspray that makes his head smell like methane on him, is gonna make him a chick. Alright? That's how it works. Oh, I cannot listen to these sexist statements any further. Ross, you're not even transgender. Why are you getting upset in the first place? I am here mainly to represent the transgender community on behalf of my girlfriend Liza, who couldn't be with us because she had other matters to attend to. Well, like your best friend Mitchell? We have a very open relationship. Please be considerate and do not be judgmental. Okay, I get the point, but bear in mind it ain't judgmental to call you a dumbass. Okay, so how about I pose this question to Mr. Ross Carrigan over here? Would you, Mr. Carrigan, hook up with a transgender woman? As a straight white representative of the transgender community, I in fact would, as my way of showing my support for the transgender community, I would certainly take one for the team. Take one for the team, brah. If you're willing to bend your dumb ass over and take a spanking from a dude in a dress, you're basically on the other team already. You were like that soccer player that went from one team and got signed on by a coach to go to another team. You get what I'm saying? You ain't taking one for the team. You are part of the other team. Me, your ass is gay. Oh, again, he just keeps triggering me. Make it stop. Have security remove him or I will. Well, have me removed? You're more than welcome to try, pal. I'm not gonna have you removed if I get triggered one more time, or perhaps a few more times. I'm basically just gonna go completely silent because I'm probably in the process of having a seizure. Really? With that said, the rest of y'all don't be shy. Kind of like throw in a couple of curse words in here. Okay, let's change the topic a little bit. I have a question here for Mr. Hat, which is entirely different. Mr. Hat, do you believe that a transgender woman can get pregnant? And if not, please state your reason. No, they cannot, because they are merely men dressed as women. Then how would you proceed to explain that many transgender women have stated that they have felt pregnant at one point in their lives? If a man has ever felt pregnant, it means he's had one too many beers and has developed what we would call a beer belly. Interesting. May I also ask, how would you explain the fact that transgender women, or at least most of them, have stated that they felt their bodies possibly menstruating? How would you explain that phenomenon? Well, there is an entirely different expression for that. We call it having an erection. I'm sure our viewers are starting to find this conversation very fascinating, and I hope they stay tuned as we will be back after the commercial break. Well, some interesting facts being shared here today on the Blue Table Talk. So, people, if you ever conduct an interview with a transgender woman, remember that when she starts talking about menstruating, there is a possibility that she might have something trained at your forehead. And we'll be back after these messages, and please stay tuned for more fascinating conversation on the Blue Table Talk. Hello again. I'm still taking part in that talk show called the Blue Table Talk. Apparently, we're still in a commercial break, and they're reorganizing a few things on the set. I saw a few additional people show up. I've spotted a few familiar faces. Spencer, isn't that your brother Zeke over there? Well, I might be either going out of my mind or that might actually be him. Hey, Zeke. Bro! Bro! Hey, how long's it been since we saw each other? About a day ago at the mall, remember? Duh. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you were in town a lot longer than I thought. Say, how are things going so far, and why are you walking funny? Well, you remember that massage pad I told you about that I wanted to get for myself? I got it, and I tested it on the car by laying it out on the seat, sat down on it, turned it down, had it on all the way over here, and man, like, dog, that's not how you were supposed to use it. You're supposed to put it up against the backrest. Ah, yeah, I know that now, because the sheriff's deputy told me when he pulled me over. Sheriff's deputy pulled you over? What for? Apparently it was just a routine stop, but having that pad turned on the whole time made the conversation really weird. Especially when he came up and asked license and registration. Is there a problem, officer? Man, I swear if your head wasn't screwed on, you'd be misplacing it all the time. Well, Dad told me that this morning, and around about the point the deputy noticed I was acting a little weird, he asked, "Are you okay, sir?" And then I said, "I'm fine, I just need to pee." Well, exactly how did the deputy finally figure out you had this pad underneath your ass? Well, he noticed the buzzing, and I told him, well, I have this pad underneath my butt. And then he told me I wasn't supposed to put it underneath my butt. It's supposed to go against the backrest. Like, okay, duh, sorry. I thought it was for something else. He didn't give me a ticket or anything. It's kind of weird. You're not allowed to drink and drive, but you can be sweaty and cross-eyed. Like, go figure. So, yeah, have you met the rest of the guys? This is Doc. Well, how do you do? Well, pleased to meet you. Tell me, this talk show we're on, did they ask you anything interesting? Is it fun, at least? Well, I suppose it's okay. They started the whole thing off by asking us if we would each hook up with some transgender woman. Oh, that crap again. Don't they know it's just a dude in a dress? Oh, there it is again, someone saying something else. That's triggered me. Oh, when will it stop? I swear one can tell that you two are brothers. You triggered? Most of the time I have to check and see if you even have a pulse because you barely react to anything. Since when has he been like this? Man, it's ever since he started dating this chick Liza. You might remember her, the girl you knew with the green hair. Oh, that weirdo. Actually, I saw her this morning. Her hair was this strange yellow. She must have dipped her head in some kind of corn sauce or something. Sorry to interrupt, but we're about to start the second segment, so would everybody please take their places? Okay, you heard the man, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get going. You know, Ross, some say that transgender women were created by the devil. Did you know that? Why is it that I always get the blame for creating all the weirdos? Sorry, I didn't think you were here. Let me tell you something. If I create something, I create it to perfection. I don't cut corners or anything. Not like some other person who decides he doesn't want to work overtime, so he throws a few people together during clockout time. That is not me. Do you understand? Yeah, sure, I get it. Sorry. Dumb thing to say. Always keep in mind that the clothing stores of this town would not have proper mannequins if not for me. So mind your language. Sure. Wait, what? Mannequins? Abraham manages a business that specializes in creating and manufacturing mannequins to all the clothing stores in town. Oh, right. So what does what I said to Ross have to do with his business? There was a competing factory that designed transgender female mannequins and sold them to the clothing stores. They were not a hit. They mistakenly thought he manufactured them, and they went to his company and complained endlessly. Oh, well, that sucks. 15 seconds until we're back on the air. Please assume your positions, everyone. Hey, Jacob, good to see ya. Oh, hello. Can anybody tell me how to find the studio? Well, you did find it. You can just sit down over there. We're about to start. And welcome back, everyone, to the Blue Table Talk. I am your host who still has it all, Drew Hall. And for this second segment, we're going to be discussing a new reality TV show coming to you from Warner Brothers and Discovery Plus, and is produced by former model Tyra Banks. It is entitled Generation Drag. It is a show about parents who dress up their young boys in women's clothing and have them dance and parade around on a stage like they're taking part in a girl's beauty pageant. Now, one would think it's purely the mom's idea for their boys to take part in this ridiculousness, but as it's been revealed by the show's trailer online, the fathers are, in fact, in the picture. So, ladies and gentlemen and honored guests, what is your opinion of this ridiculousness? Wow, that sounds like a really stupid idea for a reality show. It is a show that aims to showcase what transgenderism truly is and to encourage people to embrace their own true self. Man, I think it's a bunch of dumb shit. What do the parents have to gain by putting their kids through this? What kind of consequences is it going to have on them in their future lives? And especially when they go to school. It's like everybody's going to point out, oh, look, Sissy Boy appeared in that weird ass reality TV show where he dressed up and dragged and danced on the stage. It's almost the same as that Netflix movie that came out a couple of years ago, what, Cuties? That stuff was just stupid. These statements are just a pure example of the narrow-mindedness of people who do not understand the importance of what it is to showcase transgenderism for what it truly is. Oh, I'm sure it will make people understand what it really is. A bunch of dumb shit. Besides, how exactly would this show actually showcase transgender whatever for what it truly is? It generally revolves around a group of young boys who feel they have been born into the wrong bodies and that they actually identify as women, and that is the reason for having them dress up in women's clothing, because that is what they feel they identify as. A young boy who puts on a dress would be as much regarded as a girl as Amber Heard is regarded as a man for beating up her husband. The allegations of Amber Heard beating up on her husband were false to begin with. After all, who would think that a woman with such a frail and tender twig-like body would be able to manhandle her own husband? That is just preposterous. Did you just say her body was like so frail and twig-like? So that would mean that she's not man or woman. She's a Wendigo. That is absolutely not what I implied. You see, that was the problem with that trial. They tried her as a spouse-abusing woman instead of a spouse-abusing Wendigo because she's twig-like. But exactly how does the justice system work in that regard? Oh, please, you two are now blowing my statements out of proportion. I think if the Wendigo was found guilty of spousal abuse, they would just trim off all the thorns, eliminate a few leaves, shorten a few sticks, and make it to community service, as well as pay heavy fine. I reckon if spousal abuse was a crime punishable by death, they'd probably put the Wendigo through a mauler. I think if I was Johnny Depp and I was married to a Wendigo like Amber for so many years and had to put up with all her abuse and finally got away from her, I'd move to a different country. Oh, please, I did not imply that Amber Heard was a Wendigo. I reckon for the parents who allow their children to take part in this nonsense, it's purely about the money, because after all, it's a high-profile studio producing this reality TV show. But of course, if it fails, they no longer make a large sum of money. The husband's wife basically files for a divorce and sues the husband for all the money they made off this show and their child. And then the mother likely goes on to make more money by publishing some sort of tell-all book about how it was the husband's idea, even though this show would clearly reveal that she was fully involved and in support of this whole concept. And then in addition appear on several public television shows trying to say how she was forced to take part in all this nonsense. Well, there you have the opinions of the guests of the Blue Table Talk. We're quickly going to go cut to a commercial, but stay tuned for that third segment as it's really going to get dicey. As it's been made obvious over the years, many talk shows have had their unusual guests, some more over the top than others, and many more psychotic than most. And with the Blue Table Talk, it was no exception. More guests had begun to arrive, and they were prepping to record the third segment. Aside from dealing with a minor power outage that caused unexpected delay, many of the guests still had to deal with the behavior of Ross Carrigan, and his behavior would be a major factor in the recording of the third segment, as things didn't exactly get out of hand, but it rose to a certain level of weird, which was unusual. Hello, it's me again, your good friend the psychiatrist, and yes, I'm still part of that Blue Table Talk show. We are looking to shoot the third segment, but unfortunately we're being delayed by a power outage. They currently have the crew looking for a new circuit breaker, or I think it's a fuse. Something blue, I don't know what. Then again, I'm not an electrician. In the meantime, we're all here keeping ourselves preoccupied. Hey, how are all the beautiful people doing? Well, not bad, just waiting patiently to get started. In the meantime, more guests have shown up. I take it you've met, or probably not, excuse me, what's your name again? Hello? I'm Dr. Beanstalk. Apparently. Hey, how you doing? Nice to see a new face joining us in all this craziness. I'm just hoping they move past this transgender crap, because I'm starting to realize it's really getting tedious. Well, no argument there. When I log into social media, it's almost all I see. Although I can't be certain, but one of Drew's subjects that he wants to tackle in the show has to do with drag queens who apparently want to put on some sort of striptease show for young children around about the age of 15 and younger. Oh, seriously? You know, these are supposed to be full-grown, educated adults we're talking about here. I mean, how crazy can this get? Well, apparently, these drag queens are about as old as your politicians. Oh, hell no. Can you imagine that some old freakish dude coming in here looking like some creepy, wrinkly Cenobite from Hellraiser wants to give you a strip show? No, thank you. Hard pass. What up, dudes? I just got word they're gonna turn on the power any moment now. Like, what are you talking so loud about? Oh, nothing important really, just that we heard about some 80-year-old guy who dresses up like a woman who wants to come in and give you a lap dance. Nuh-uh, not me. If he comes in here, just tell him that Ross is over there. He's the one willing to take it for the team. It's like, I'll take a hard pass on that one. I mean, some old guys, when they get older, they get crazier and are willing to boink anything that's willing. I wonder how hectic sex can be for all these old politicians in their 60s, 70s, and 80s. Lady probably gets on the bed. I am ready for you, Cyril. Come and take me now. Take me here. Like, I am coming, Martha. So already you're nowhere near the bed. I reckon it depends on their physical state, but heavy sexual activity is not recommended to someone who's rather frail. Or maybe they just need some additional cheerleading. You can do it, Uncle Nicky, or 9 seconds long. Oh, speaking of which, I heard something interesting. Did any of you know that if a man continuously stares at a beautiful woman, it helps him to reduce feelings of depression and anxiety? As a matter of fact, I did. That's why I have this topless photo of Carmen Electra on the foreground of my phone. Oh, really? Give. I want to see. Yeah, I want to see too, man. Hey, no fair. She's got her back turned. Yeah, what is this? I thought you were a pal. Well, that happens to be the only photo I have, and I tend to like to use my imagination to fill out the rest, if you catch my meaning. Well, okay, hey, since technology is so advanced, maybe I can pan around. Come on. Come on, come to Papa. Well, nothing wrong with being an optimist. Hello, Ross. Hey, Rossi, how you doing? Say, check this out. I bet you wished you could wake up next to a lucky number like this, huh? Oh, get that phone away from me. I don't want to look at naked pictures of women online. I find them simply grotesque. Duh. You know, if it wasn't for grotesque, none of us would be here. Come on, man, admit it. You've wanted to get naked with a lady like this, huh? Come on, admit it. We're all friends here. Come on, go ahead. Unlike you, sir, I don't believe in premarital sex. Well, it wouldn't have made sense if you did, Hawthorne, because it's a practice, not a religion. I have actually come to speak with you. I am planning to sue you and your brother for reckless endangerment. What? You only sue people for that kind of thing if you were actually placed in danger. I don't recall that happening. Well, you did with the amount of times you and your brother triggered me with all the words and phrases and insults you hurled towards the transgender community. I cannot stand for it a second longer. Ross, you are just being ridiculous. They didn't say anything to remotely trigger anyone. And besides, they were basically pointing out the ridiculousness of these people's behavior online. What ridiculous behavior. It's perfectly normal. They just want to express themselves, and people like you sitting here want to keep that from happening. You just want to continue to oppress them left, right, and center. Maybe you ought to just go home and pour yourself a couple of cocktails and relax. No, after we have shot this third segment, I am going straight to my attorney's office and then I'm going to begin the procedures of pressing charges and taking this whole matter to court. I will see you in court. That is after we've shot this third segment. Good day to you all. A potential courtroom drama. I just love shows like Law and Order and Boston Legal. I can watch them for hours on end. When is this one gonna get started? Probably in the next 30 years because Ross is never in a hurry to get anything done. Oh man, that is so not cool. And worst case scenario, he probably knows an attorney dumb enough to take his case. Oh, I have an idea. Zeke, you remember telling us about a certain massage pad you bought this morning? Massage pad? As in the one that resulted in you having an odd conversation with the deputy sheriff. Oh yeah, that massage pad, deputy sheriff, duh. Yeah, what about it? Would you kindly go get it for us? I have an idea. Oh, you got it. I'm off. Can I quickly ask a favor? could you send me that topless photo of Carmen Electra? I'd like to look at it while sitting on my own massage pad. Oh, certainly. I'll text it to your phone, Dr. Beanstalk. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. You may resume your seats, as power will be restored shortly and we can begin with our third segment. Oh, there we go. Hello, and welcome to our third installment of the Blue Table Talk. This subject will now regard drag queens who aim to perform striptease show for young children around the ages of 15 and young. Hold up. You mind if I say something? Since this is basically being done by someone who's supposed to be a grown-ass adult with an education, this is by far the stupidest and dumbest thing I've ever heard a person try to do. Oh, there it is. There it finally is. He has done it. I have warned you and your brother. Man, what have you warned me about? This is the first time I've seen you all day. Well, you have done it. You have unleashed the beast, you low-grade charlatan. Low-grade charlatan. Hope you know that your ass is going to realize that this means war. It doesn't matter because I am now officially aroused. Say, what? Oh, I don't know what's come over me, but do it again. Man, you're starting to act crazy. You on something? Did Liza slip you something over the wall? Oh, this whole situation is spreading my ass cheeks. Seriously, Doc, Drew, I can't be in the same room with this fool any longer. I see you like it hard, Fräulein. Okay, now he is freaking me out. Is that a bit too much? To be quite honest, I don't think it's enough. Take it up a few notches. Right, between the cheeks, I mean peak. Man, you better stop that shit. Ja, mein General. Yeah. Why the hell are you stiffening up? It appears something might be wrong. We might need to cut to a quick commercial, Hat. I am on it right now. Oh, bring me mein Schnitzel, schnell. Something is about to erupt. Oh, this fool's ass is farting something fierce. Whoa, I think we should worry more if it starts whistling Dixie. Oh, now he's really starting to stink up the place. Quickly, everyone outside. How am I going to explain this to the network? Just tell him the guy identified as a tree and he began to pollinate. Four Seasons, that is my favorite. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Due to a technical difficulty, we will not resume the broadcast of the Blue Table Talk. Therefore, we will move on to our regular scheduled programming that will resume following the Blue Table Talk. We do apologize again for this inconvenience. Now, with the recording of the third segment being completely halted after noticing that Ross Kerrigan was behaving weirdly and suddenly started to babble incoherently, plans were made to get him to a hospital out of fear that he might have started to have a seizure. I had my doubts that whatever was happening to Ross had anything to do with the massage pad. However, Zeke and Spencer made a plan to get Ross into their car, while Jacob knew of a hospital nearby they could take him to. So the trio made a plan, and Doc, the psychiatrist, went to Ross's mother's house to gather up his things and take it to him in the hospital as soon as he was checked in. Okay, come on, Rossi. Just a few more steps. God, this dude is heavy. I go poo-pee. What again? There's definitely something wrong with your ass, and all thanks to your massage pad. Just so you know, it was never my idea to put it on his seat in the first place. I'll run on ahead to see if I can find a doctor. I mean, why'd you do it in the first place? What did he say to you before I got into the studio? He apparently was going to sue us for reckless endangerment. What reckless endangerment? We didn't put him in any danger. Apparently it has to do with all the words and phrases you and I used to trigger him, supposedly. And then he was going to sue us for a fortune. Man, I doubt there would have been an attorney in town dumb enough to take his case in the first place. Besides, we could have just gone to the sheriff and asked him to talk Ross out of it. Yeah, okay, but it wasn't exactly my idea. It was your psychiatrist friend, Doc, who basically came up with the idea to put the massage pad on his seat. and basically turned the whole thing up to maximum. Wait, this was Doc's idea? It's all right. I found a doctor finally. Guten Tag. What appears to be the problem? Oof, please do not shoot. I have a wife and a child that was conceived purely by accident. Say, why are you freaking out? Because I am not sure if that is a gun in your friend's pants or is he just happy to see me. What are you talking about, a gun in his pants? Damn! What is it? Whoa! That is one impressive boner. I didn't know you could get that from a massage pad. Well, it appears your friend certainly does have a problem. Take him into the nearest doctor's office. I'll be right behind you. You guys go on ahead. Me phone's busy ringing. I have to take the call. It might be Doc. Hello? Jacob, this is Doc. I'm on the way to the hospital with Ross's things. Were you able to get him checked in? Oh, yeah. I was able to find a doctor and he just said to take him into one of the offices. Spencer and Zeke basically went with him just now. That's good to know. Call me if anything else happens. I'm just a few minutes out. Right on, Doc. I'll see you in a few. Oh, to all the girls he came. Why in the hell is he sounding like Desmond Tutu all of a sudden? Well, we are about to find out. Please someone assist me in removing his pants. Oh, what are we gonna do now, Brain? Oh, I just love that show. The best part about my childhood was watching Pinky and... Doctor, please focus. Tell us what we need to do here. Help me remove his pants. And you, try to hold him as still as you can. I'm here. What can I do? You go join your friend up there and help hold him still. He's moving like a crazy... Hell, he's even talking like a crazy person. And farting like a garbage disposal. Okay, finally there we go. Let's have a look. Oh, it is as I suspected. What? What is it? He was never carrying a gun. Man, we told you that when we came in. Okay, let's have a closer look. What is this ring around his rock? Huh? Excuse me. Just a moment. What is this ring on his thing? He has, this is some kind of mechanical... wait, that's a dick ring. You get it at the local adult stores. What the hell would Ross be doing with one of these things on his thing? And I thought you basically tried to pull a prank with a massage pad. We did. We didn't know he was wearing this thing. I was like, I didn't even know where it came from. Actually, I might know. I saw his girlfriend Liza stopping by the studio this morning and handed him a package of some kind. You mean his girlfriend gave him this thing and wanted him to wear it while we were recording the talk show? Are you kidding? I know Liza has her weird ways, but that doesn't even make sense, even for her. Ring, ring, ring around the rosy. Okay, in order to remove this ring, we would first have to get his thing to come down, and we would have to realign his blood circulation. Okay, and how is that gonna work? This is a very common procedure. Nurse Amelda, could you come in here, please? Yes, doctor. Hey, yo, calm down. It's nothing. Yeah, come on, man. Calm your ass down. I sort of doubt that he has any feeling left in his ass. Don't worry, my son. This Amelda does not bite without given consent. What can I get you, doctor? Give me the blood thinners from the cupboard back there. Don't let her bite me, Adolf. Please, please. Settle down, man. Come on. Seriously, we need some extra help here. This guy's pretty strong. Not a problem, Dr. Gracker. Yes, mein Doctor. Could you kindly assist us in holding down the patient? He is behaving erratically. It will be mine honor, mein Doctor. It is a great day for an exorcism. This really is one freaky-ass hospital. Could one of you kindly try to calm him down? I'm trying to administer a sedative. Hey, Rosie, why don't you relax? Hey, take a look at this topless pic of Carmen Elect. Oh, damn, man, now you just made him worse. Sorry, I'm not good with coming up with split-second solutions. I've always wanted to have premarital sex, but everyone just keeps denying me. Why do you all keep denying me? 'Cause you ain't on top. Now settle your ass down. Oh, the devil will come and take you back to his domain of hell for denying me. And why exactly would I do that? Whatever would make you think I would take these degenerates back to my house? They could either steal or break my shit. Oh, forgive me. I know not what I say, Lord. No harm done. But realize, people are trying to help you right now, so could you calm down so they can do what is needed? Yes, Lord. Can you believe it? I refer to the devil as Lord. I am truly going to hell. I already said I don't want these people at my house. What makes you think you are any special? Oh, sorry, I was mistaken. I didn't mean to imply. The only worries I would have with these people is that they could either steal or break my shit, but you would probably lecture me non-stop, say this is the work of the devil. Duh, who do I look like, Ron Stewart? Oh, forgive me, Lord, I mean... You are forgiven. Now kindly stop talking because you're only going to get yourself into deeper shit. Abraham, my man, you're a true godsend, you know that? I know, and where would you be without me, huh? Well, obviously not in hell, that's for sure. Hey, is it just me, or did it really get dark in here? Is the power out or something? Oh, it is hospital policy to abide by the BEE legislation, so we operate 30% black. Okay, but what does that have to do with the fact that you don't have any lights on? Because, as per BEE legislation, we are required to operate 30% black, so we turn off 30% of the lights. That is how it works. No, it doesn't. It means that your management is supposed to consist of 30% black people, not that you're supposed to turn off 30% of the lights. Oh, well, it is not my fault they were never that specific. We are ready to administer blood thinning injection, doctor. Thank you, nurse. Kindly turn on this light so I can see where I'm putting the needle in. I might poke something valuable. Thank you. Well, at least that's over. At least Ross seems to have passed out. Just 5 more minutes, mother. Oh, my phone's ringing again. Hello? Hello, Jacob. I'm pulling up into the driveway. Could you tell me in which doctor's office are you? Excuse me. Doctor, what's your name? I am Dr. Eichmann. Heinrich Eichmann. It's Eichmann. I am currently standing in a hospital that has most of its lights turned off, making it somewhat dark. I don't exactly know the reason for this, but it is peculiar. But I'm currently waiting at the hospital for the sheriff to arrive, because he wants to question each of us who were at the recording session for the Blue Table Talk Show, wanting to know what happened to his deputy, Ross Carrigan, and you did hear me correctly. Ross Carrigan actually works in law enforcement. Why? That is a question that still needs to be answered. In the meantime, I'm here in the lounge, here with Drew Hall, who is basically wearing a hole in the floor by pacing back and forth. My beautiful show ruined. My beautiful third segment of the Blue Table Talk has been ruined. I'm not even sure who to be mad at. I'm not sure if Ross Carrigan even suffers from a mental condition, but I reckon that might have been obvious from the first time I met him. But one question I would certainly like an answer to is, what kind of idiot wears a dick ring on a talk show? I don't think having worn one was the actual problem. I'm just curious as to how it got activated. So Doc wanted to pull a prank with a massage pad. Fine, no problem. Have Ross make a fool out of himself. But not literally almost fart himself to death just because his ass cheeks got loosened. But a massage pad and a dick ring working in tandem, what exactly does that do to your lower body? It probably gives you a good indication of what it's like to be paralyzed from the waist down. Well, I see new people arriving. I guess we should lower our voices now. Keep this conversation a bit more discreet. When is the sheriff going to arrive? I don't see why I have to be here in the first place. You only need like one or two people to explain what's going on. I think I see Joseph and the sheriff walking up right now. We might be able to finally resolve this. Okay, gentlemen, I have arrived, so can somebody please finally tell me what happened to my deputy? Well, Sheriff, as it turns out, your deputy wore what we call a dick ring that you can purchase at the local adult stores on his person, and somehow it got activated along with a massage pad that was placed on the chair. Well, if I can wager a guess, I reckon his deranged girlfriend probably bought it for him. But where exactly does the massage pad come in? Ross had threatened the Talbot brothers with a lawsuit because they kept saying phrases and words that triggered him constantly. So Doc came up with the idea of placing the massage pad on his chair as a way of humiliating him to somewhat humble him. And I take it you were probably aware of this, Dexter? The name is actually Drew Hall, your host who has it all on the Blue Table Talk. And yes, Doc came to me in advance and told me what he was going to do with that massage pad. And quite frankly, I agreed with him. Your uptight little colleague was actually irritating me from day one. And I suppose a little public humiliation might have brought his ego back down to earth. Well, I know Russell can be a lot to deal with sometimes, but he's a pretty good deputy. How he manages to be a pretty good deputy, I don't even know. I have no clue how he even made it into law enforcement. Must have cheated on his tests. Well, I should probably go in to see how he's doing, otherwise I'll never hear the end of it from his mother. Tell me quickly, what is he identifying as today so I'd know what pronouns to use? Well, he never became defensive when we used his traditional pronouns, but then again he was never in the room when we did. Quite frankly, I'm not sure. Well, I might as well wing it. What's the use? Johnson? It's Joseph, sir. That's what I said. Wait here with these fine folks. Let 'em leave if they want, and inform the others if they arrive. They may leave at their own discretion as well. Here I go. I take it he still has trouble remembering names. Still? He's never been able to remember names. Evening, gentlemen. Well, hello, Rodney. Fancy meeting you here. Have you come to support Ross? No, actually, I just happened to be here. My brother and his wife are having their second-born tonight. Why, congratulations. Is it a boy or a girl? Well, they are convinced it's a boy, and he's going to grow up to be the chairman of a major company. Really? They sound so confident. What exactly has them believing that he'll grow up to be a chairman? Somehow someone was able to make them believe that if they have sex in a specific position, referred to as the chairman in the Kama Sutra, they will have a boy, which will undoubtedly grow up to be a chairman of a successful company. Really, and they actually believe this? They are idiots who seem to believe just about anything they are told. They initially intended for this child to be their first, but previously they believed that having sex doggy style would help them obtain a puppy. Instead, they ended up with a child with aspirations to be a fashion designer. So, despite finding out otherwise, they must still be proud that the child at least has some aspirations. Actually, after the child was born, they were somewhat confused and couldn't understand what happened. First, my brother thought his wife did something wrong, and then later, they thought they may have misread the instructions on how to execute the position. Excuse me for being rude, but some conversations today are starting to become too much. I'm going to leave. Good day to you all, Deputy, Hat, Mr. Rodney. Hope you have a pleasant evening. Good night, Drew, and drive safe. And how are you doing, Dr. Beanstalk? Oh, I am just doing splendidly. This is all so exciting. I used to come to this hospital a lot. Have you met my little puppy Boonsy? He's so adorable. There. Ooh, you just made a poopy sound. For as high as your Poonsy puppy is lying on your lap, his poopy sound travelled surprisingly deep into the couch. Good evening, Sheriff. I take it you have come to see how your deputy is doing. And a good evening to you too, Dr. Eisenberg. Hey, son, how you doing? You holding up okay? Oh, there it is again. Me being misgendered by my own superior. This is so traumatizing. Well, I saw what I needed to see, and apparently things are worse than I thought. Doctor, I recommend you keep my deputy under sedation for quite some time. The rest of you are free to go home. I got what I needed from Pat and Poindexter out in the hall. You hang in there, you brave non-canary shithead, you. Good evening, gentlemen, ladies. Well, finally, not that it made sense for us to stay here for as long as we did. I have a question. If Rose's girlfriend is like this weirdo that just treats him like garbage, why doesn't he go out and find himself a better girlfriend? Well, you see, Jacob, the problem with modern-day women is not the size of your heart. Ain't even about the size of your wallet. It's about the size of the ring you're able to get 'em. After today, that whole sentence might have developed a double meaning. Well, in a weird way, I know what you mean. Anyway, let's blow this popsicle stand. Hey, Ross, you get better now, you hear? I have every intention of getting better, and I vow to go ahead with that lawsuit I have planned. Right. And Doc, you heard what the sheriff said? Heavy sedation for a couple of days. In the meantime, cheers. Okay, I've dropped off Ross's things. I may now leave. Hold on. Pardon my rudeness, but are you planning to go on the road tonight? I do indeed. I still need to get home tonight. Well, I encourage you to drive safe, and of course be wary of other travelers, and also be on the lookout for a man named Dean, a complete moron who apparently thinks he identifies as a deer, and has gone out of his way to stand in the middle of the road just to get hit by a truck. Okay, that sounds rather strange. I'm also traveling with a few friends. I'll be sure to let them know as well. Please, by all means do. I wouldn't want any of you to unnecessarily end up with a Dean in the headlights. I will definitely pass on the message, and you have yourself a pleasant evening, Mr. Kaufman, Lloyd Kaufman. I'm a local farmer. We're going to be seeing each other again real soon. Hello, this is your host with the most. Who am I kidding? I'm not hosting the show right now, but I am Drew Hall. And I'm currently on my way home from the hospital after going to support Ross Kerrigan after his little episode on the episode of my own show. I just got tired of the conversations being held in the waiting area. Apparently now your child's gender and job occupation can be determined by the position you have sex in, dictated by the Kama Sutra. That is terrific. Apparently one couple believed they would get a puppy if they had sex doggy style, and instead ended up with a child who wants to be a fashion designer. What's next? You have sex in the Einstein style, and you end up with a child that basically becomes a dog catcher, whatever. Ooh, there appears to be a bit of traffic up ahead. Someone has stepped outside of his car. 2 cars, actually, and they're standing up front. I wonder what's going on. I suppose I should get out and see what might be going on. Hopefully these aren't a pair of serial killers who want to ambush me, then skin my hide and use it to decorate their bed lamps. Hello, how are you? What exactly is going on? Oh, there's a naked gentleman on the ground, apparently unconscious. What exactly happened? How you doing? I was driving up the road just heading home, and suddenly I see this fool standing in the middle of the road, and I hit the brakes. I take it you didn't stop in time. Actually, I was able to stop right at the last minute. Then this speed demon rear-ended me so hard I ended up knocking him over anyway. Well, that was a bit unfortunate. Oh, it seems the other gentleman happens to be Sheriff Chandler. Yep, it was unfortunate. Unfortunate, my ass. With how hard you hit me, I could tell you didn't even try to slam on the brakes. I'm gonna sue you for everything you're worth. I would advise you to check your tone, Mr. Samuels. You are addressing the town sheriff. Oh, really? That explains a lot, because you drive like a pig. Okay, no need for this to get heated. Let's just focus on trying to get out of this mess. Has anyone called the ambulance? I radioed it in myself, and the hospital is still close by, so it should only take them a few minutes to get out here. That is good to know. But one thing that would also help out is to have more light. I can barely see anything. Why are most of the street lights off? I have never seen this road like this before. Why, you haven't heard? It's more of that BEE crap where everything is supposed to run 30% black, so they turn off 30% of the street lights. I was under the impression that 30% of your business shares is supposed to go to a black person, as per this BEE mandate. Oh, really? I would have guessed. These schmucks were never that specific. Hey guys, the ambulance is here. Good evening, mein sheriff. Kindly direct me to the injured party. Certainly, he's right in front of that pickup truck over there. Thank you, mein sheriff. I will get to work immediately. Hey, what's up, Drew? What exactly happened here? Ooh, poor fool got himself run over. Well, to be more specific, me and the sheriff came across this guy back at the hospital named Lloyd Kaufman, I think. Told us there was this guy who's standing naked in the road who identifies as a deer is actually trying to get hit by a truck. This might be him, and he might have actually pulled it off. Oh, another one of those weirdos, man. You know, a deer doesn't exactly go stand in the road on purpose to get hit by a truck. How stupid does this guy have to be? Well, he probably didn't get the memo for all we know. Hello, Joseph. How are you doing? Hey, it's my boy Jacob. How are you? I'm good, thanks. I'm good so far. I'm just sorry about what happened to Ross. Hang on. You know, I think you might want to look behind you. I think I see two naked people looking at us. Bruh, were you diving into the rum a little early this evening? Well, I haven't even had the chance to try out his rum, and I'm seeing the same naked people over there. Where exactly? It's like, oh, what the hell is going on over there? I think I see more than two of them. Injured party showing no signs of internal injuries. No broken ribs, no broken neck, no nothing else. Might have concussion. Well, at least the good news is he's not going to die on us, so keep up the good work, Stephen. The name is actually Gregor, mein sheriff. Yep, that's what I said. Sheriff. What is it, Johnson? It's Joseph, Sheriff. Well, what's wrong with him? No, I meant my name is Joseph. Never mind. There's a bunch of naked people across the street looking at us. Well, what exactly is the meaning of this? Is there some nudist party we don't know about? Well, maybe these naughty bunches also want to stand in the road to get hit by a truck. I think if they were trying to identify as deer, they'd be standing on all fours. They're all standing upright. Maybe they all identify as meerkats. If that's the case, the one with the pink hair has the biggest tits I've ever seen on a meerkat. This is beyond strange. What the devil is actually going on? Well, something else I'm getting blamed for. I can assure you I have nothing to do with these. That is actually not what I meant, but good to see you too, Abraham. Likewise. I heard something on the radio that stated, when you see naked people in the street, not to approach. Apparently they're hooked on some kind of drug. I think I heard that on the radio too as we drove up. They said these guys are hooked on some kind of flocka. You know, Ma would whip your ass with that shoe of hers if she heard the kind of language you were just using. No, bro, that's what the drug is called, flocka. Turns people into psychotic energizer bunnies. What up, dudes? Why is everybody standing still looking in that direction? Oh, we got some naked dudes and chicks in the house. Oh, great. We got ourselves a regular Dawn of the Naked Dead situation brewing here. Or maybe not, because the meerkat with pink hair and big breasts just mooed. What? What the hell kind of meerkat moos? Never mind the moo. What kind of meerkat has pink hair and surgically enlarged tits? Liza. Jacob, my mother once told me never to name something I do not have any intention of adopting. No, I meant that's Liza, Ross's girlfriend. Wait a second, he's right. The guy right next to her, I know that fool too. That's Mitchell. Color me dumb or something, but who exactly is Mitchell? He's the guy Liza is openly fooling around with, and Ross is fully aware of it because they have an open relationship, if you catch my meaning. Oh, they schmucks in their open relationships. Hey, I think that meerkat with big hair, melon-shaped tits who mooed at us just hissed. What kind of meerkat with big tits and pink hair moos and hisses? Maybe she's just a cow on two legs, but that's what we always thought about Liza, and maybe the hiss was a fart. I am ready to relocate injured party into ambulance. No one, and I mean no one, move a muscle. Who exactly are you? I'm the guy that's gonna save your ass. This is team leader to retrieval team. I have eyes on multiple tribesmen. Confirm you have a visual on infrared, over. Oh, looks like some heavy shit's about to go down. Hey, you, shorty. You're talking to me? You know any good pickup lines you can use on that pink-haired meerkat over there? Maybe? We'll use the best one you got. It'll help draw her out into the open. Do it now without asking questions. Okay. Hey, you, sweetheart with the pink hair, do you identify as a deer? Because I've spent all evening thinking about which walls on the house I want to mount you on. That was classic, man. He, the meerkat with the pink hair, big boobs who mooed and his statue, now called you a misogynist. And screamed it loud enough for the whole neighborhood to hear. Retrieval team, you are a go. Woo, now they're just falling down one after the other. Man, now some crazy shit really is going down. Who are these special forces guys? The fact that my name is General Lloyd Kaufman and I lead a task force who is rounding up everyone addicted to this drug called Flocka and putting them in a state penitentiary for rehabilitation is classified information and strictly on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Got it? Yeah, loud and clear, I think. The only thing any of you need to know is that the devil is gonna be rolling down this road any moment. Actually, he was already rolling down this road to go home. Can we leave now? Yes, you can. You all gather up your things and get out of here. You get that man in the ambulance, get him to the hospital, and know I'm going to be coming for him. You all drive safe now. Now that everyone was allowed to finally go home, the mysterious General Kaufman and his team rounded up the group of unusual meerkats, or people identifying as meerkats, whatever you want to think of them, and took them to a mysterious location, and he would eventually go back to the hospital and claim the individual who was hit by the other man's truck. And thus everyone rode into the sunset, knowing little of what was to come in the following weeks. But that is a story for another time, and until then I am the Hat, and if anyone asks, you haven't seen my face.